Truth be told, I've never seen either of the preceding Bill and Ted films before this. Still haven't as it goes, but if I watch every film I'm supposed to have seen before I did any reviewing, I wouldn't be able to make myself 42 cups of tea a day and would lose my lovable, optimistic nature. Well, lovable and optimistic nature for a Brit, anyway. So, as far as I could puzzle out before watching the film, Bill and Ted appears to be what would happen if Doctor Who and Dumb and Dumber was thrown in a blender together, and coming out of Bill and Ted Let's Face the Music and Dance, Bill and Ted appears to be what would happen if Doctor Who and Dumb was thrown in a blender together. I mean, it's harmless enough and I did enjoy it, but I failed to see what all the fuss was about. Anyway, the film was thoughtful enough to provide a recap of the previous two, which I was appreciative of, and it did now say its welcome, running at a mere 82 minutes until the credits started rolling. I smiled at a few moments, wasn't particularly bugged by anyone on screen, liked how it's a time travel film that doesn't really seem to care about the effects or rules of time travel, which is kind of cool. However, it did take me a few minutes to get past John Wick and the writer-director of 2018's The Panama Papers documentary, acting like a friend of mine's dad who had a midlife crisis, quit their job, and finally decided to become a musician who would write songs for the ages. It didn't end well. Also, Keanu spends the entire film acting like someone hasn't quite got around to oiling his joints, and as a result lumbers around set in a way I frankly found slightly odd. But if you can get past the feeling this film should have been made maybe 10 years ago, then, like I said, this is an enjoyable little film. I mean, the plot's little more than an excuse for a series of basically short skits, or an excuse to stick Neo and director of Bella and the Bulldogs, yeah, me neither, episode Tornado Alfredo, in a series of costumes of varying convincingness and wearing out of welcomes. One skit could have been extended, and another drastically cut down.
Get on with it.
Yes, get on with it!
Oh right, the plot finds our two middle-aged leads trying to write a song that will somehow save the universe, a task they've been at for decades with no success thus far, as well as having problems with their wives, a plotline that someone manages to both over and under-deliver for the amount of screen time it gets, and a subplot involving their daughters, which I think would work better with a dynamic duo estranged from them at the start of the film, fed up with their father's tales of time travel and saving the universe, which they view as an excuse to explain away their poor parenting skills and fixation on their failed band, for finding out that it was all true and trying to help. Instead, they start the film with an amazing relationship with their dad, which only grows stronger as the film progresses, which is a bit of a missed opportunity in my eyes. Actually, the wasting of Samara Weaving, so good in last year's brilliant Ready or Not, and Bridget Lundy-Payne is a bit of a misstep for the film entirely. Could you not have thought of something to do with two such talented actresses, rather than basically reenacting a version of the first film? Also, the opening act drags slightly, as the point is made that the Wild Stallion's flame is pretty much extinguished and then remade for good measure before the plot actually gets going. But on the other hand, it's not as if this film's runtime is long enough to survive the removal of 5 minutes of mildly amusing material, and once the film gets going, it's fairly quickly forgotten. I did like several of the minor characters though. Death is a lot of fun, and a neurotic robot assassin called Dennis did remind me of something Douglas Adams might have created, which is no bad thing in my book. I guess if you go in expecting a fun little time waster, then that's what you're gonna get. It could have done with expanding the daughters a little bit, a slight tweaking of the opening act, but once this film gets going at about the 12-minute, hey, this is really not a long film mark, the pace is fast enough that if you're not enjoying this scene, there's another one along in a minute that you will. On the whole though, I did enjoy this film with its fun, well-meaning characters, its optimistic outlook on life, except as that it is not some deep, thoughtful meditation of the human condition, but instead is simply an entertaining little diversion that really should have been made a decade ago. In other words, if nothing else is on, yeah, check this film out. Otherwise, just don't bother. But what do you guys think? And if one currently existing song could bring the world together, what is that song? Comment below, let me know. I'm Daniel, it's been a dunking. If you've enjoyed this video, please like, share, and subscribe.